Good day, everyone, and welcome to our presentation on understanding addiction, brain, behavior, and recovery. Today, we will delve into the complex nature of addiction by exploring its causes, the challenges it presents, and the promising new treatments available. Addiction is a chronic brain disorder that affects millions, and understanding its intricacies is crucial for effective recovery. I'm excited to take you through this important topic. Let's get started. Addiction is best understood as a chronic brain disorder. It's not just a lack of willpower, but a complex condition where people feel a compulsive need to seek and use drugs, even when it clearly causes harmful consequences in their lives. What's really important to know is that addiction causes significant changes in the brain's circuits, especially those that manage reward, motivation, and memory. These changes make the behavior persistent and very difficult to control, which is why overcoming addiction can be such a challenging process. When we look at the causes of addiction, there are several key factors to consider. First, biological factors play a significant role. Some people have a genetic predisposition that makes them more likely to develop addiction, and changes in brain chemistry can also increase this susceptibility. Next, psychological factors are important. Conditions like mental health disorders, past trauma, and ongoing chronic stress can make someone more vulnerable to addiction. Then, we have environmental factors. The influence of family relationships, peer pressure, and socioeconomic challenges can all contribute to the risk. Lastly, developmental factors are crucial. Early exposure to substances or difficult life experiences during childhood can dramatically heighten the chances of developing an addiction later on. All these aspects intertwine, shaping the complex nature of addiction. Addiction causes significant changes in the brain structure and how it functions. One of the most affected areas is the brain's reward system, which relies heavily on dopamine pathways. These changes disrupt how the brain experiences pleasure and motivates behavior. Additionally, addiction impairs critical cognitive functions, making it harder for individuals to make sound decisions and control impulses. On top of that, addiction alters the way the brain handles stress, which can make the path to recovery much more challenging. Understanding these changes helps us grasp why addiction is such a complex condition to overcome. When we look at the psychological and social challenges faced, one major issue is co-occurring mental health disorders like depression and anxiety. These conditions make treatment more complex because they often interact with each other, requiring a more comprehensive approach. Another important factor is environmental and social triggers. Certain people we associate with or specific places can act as powerful cues that lead to relapse. Being aware of these triggers is crucial in managing recovery effectively. Finally, social stigma and isolation play a big role in making these challenges even harder. The negative judgments and feelings of being alone can discourage individuals from seeking the help and support they need, which significantly impacts their progress. Addressing these social barriers is essential for successful treatment and recovery. Addiction is especially difficult to treat because of several complex factors. First, brain adaptations caused by substance use lead to persistent cravings and compulsive behaviors that are hard to control. Even after stopping drug use, these changes in the brain can drive repeated attempts to use again. Second, triggers like stress and certain environmental cues often cause relapse, sometimes long after someone has been abstinent. This means recovery requires more than just stopping the substance. It also involves managing these triggers. Third, many individuals struggling with addiction also face mental health challenges, which makes therapy more complicated and requires integrated treatment approaches. Finally, social barriers such as stigma and limited access to healthcare prevent many people from getting the help they need. These combined factors make addiction a chronic and multifaceted condition that demands comprehensive treatment strategies. When it comes to current treatments for addiction, behavioral therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and motivational interviewing play a central role. These approaches help individuals recognize and change unhelpful thought patterns while boosting their motivation to stay sober. Medications are also commonly used to reduce cravings and make withdrawal symptoms more manageable, which can be crucial during the recovery process. However, it's important to recognize that these treatments don't work equally well for everyone. Some patients don't respond as effectively, which is a significant limitation in our current options. Additionally, relapse rates remain high, emphasizing that addiction is a chronic condition requiring ongoing support. On top of these clinical challenges, many people face barriers to accessing care, whether due to geographic, financial, or systemic issues. Unfortunately, stigma around addiction continues to limit the availability and use of treatment, making it harder for people to seek the help they need. Addressing these obstacles is just as crucial as improving the therapies themselves. Here we see some of the most promising emerging approaches in mental health treatment. First, neuromodulation techniques like transcranial magnetic stimulation and deep brain stimulation work by directly targeting specific brain circuits, offering a more precise way to influence brain activity. Then, digital health applications play a crucial role by providing continuous support and real-time monitoring, which helps patients stay on track with their treatment. Another exciting development is personalized medicine, where treatments are tailored based on a person's unique genetic makeup, ensuring more effective and individualized care. Together, these advancements bring new hope for achieving more effective and lasting recovery for many individuals. Addiction is a complex condition, but it's important to recognize it as a treatable chronic brain disorder. By framing it this way, we can move away from judgment and towards effective solutions. Understanding the many factors that contribute to addiction and the challenges people face during treatment helps us reduce stigma, which in turn improves the support systems that individuals rely on. Finally, ongoing innovation combined with compassionate care is crucial. This approach not only expands access to treatment, but also increases the chances of lasting recovery for many more people.